Hello, hello, my horror hooligans. Not Sugar Pants here on this very special episode. It is my 100th review. And to celebrate, this one will be just a little bit different. Normally, I try my best to avoid the really well-known trashy movies. Part of why I wanted to do a show at all was to try and shine a spotlight on lesser-known titles. And that can be a difficult task considering the way some of us just consume media. Sometimes I'm actually a little surprised by how many people have seen some of the titles I've reviewed. But today is not one of those times. Today is the day that we celebrate the reason that I love trash. Today's tumultuous title is 1986's From Beyond. Definitely not a lesser-known movie by any means. In a way, it's kind of the antithesis of the point of my show. However, this movie holds a very special place in my malignant tumor of a heart. This is the movie I saw as a child that gave me a lifetime love of trashy movies. So let's fire up that resonator and stimulate our pineal glands so that we can see every gooey, fuchsia detail of that sleaze docket. We have 6 dead bodies, 8 cups blood, 8 gallons slime, 4 cups vomit, 124 gallons pink basement water, 20 gallons pink stairway water, 4 gallons preserved brain goo, 2 naked breasts, 1 naked butt, 1 naked bajingo, 80s computer tech porn, tinkly, playful, scary music, writhing, maggoty opening credits, force lightning, casual sexism, 1 homemade sex dungeon, homemade BDSM video, 1 wet bikini brief bulge, 1 torn nightgown, torn panties, stockings, 1 partially exploded house, gratuitous fuchsia, gratuitous headachy acting, wacky comic relief neighbor cliche, 1 inept guard cliche, slimy piranha eel monsters, slimy toothy jellyfish monsters, 1 swarm monster flies, 1 giant monster basement worm, 1 smushy shoulder, 2 grabby neck arms, 1 grabby goopy torso arm, 1 goopy toothy monster head transformation, bundled crotch tentacles, pineal gland skull emergence, mouth stretched full-grown human rebirth, 1 chewed forearm, 1 cracked open skull, 1 partially eaten brain, 1 chewed eyeball removal, 1 face peeled off, 2 heads twist bitten off, eye socket sucked brain, 1 eyeball dangling from socket, enlarged pineal gland chewery, goopy toothy monster head chewery, monster basement worm head chomp, monster fly swarm devoured human, partial monster basement worm ingestion, 1 incredibly mangled knee, internal hand bursting, 1 shunting 3 whole years before society did it, indeterminate pocket knife stab, surgical lamp to the head, skull smashed into the pavement, knife to the monster basement worm, heavily implied monster finger bang, bad touch finger taste, unconscious partner straddling, furiously masturbating schizophrenic, leather glove self-love, and bondage gear Barbara Crampton. So because this is a pretty well-known movie, the review section is going to be brief. Actually, less of a review and more of a rave. Dr. Pretorius has built a machine that stimulates the brain and allows one to see the alternate world that lives within the same space as ours. Unfortunately, it also lets them see us. In the opening sequence, Dr. Pretorius turns the resonator on to full power and is killed off screen. Dr. Crawford Tillinghast is institutionalized because his panicked explanation for his boss's death makes no sense. Enter Dr. Catherine McMichaels, a controversial psychiatrist who specializes in schizophrenia and doesn't seem to have many fans in this hospital. She wants to get to the bottom of Crawford's mystery, so she and a cop, Bubba, take him back to the house so he can give his side of the story. After hearing the details, Catherine convinces Crawford to turn on the resonator. She and Bubba come face to slimy face with whatever Dr. Pretorius has become, a shapeless pile of pinky, purpley goo that can change its form instantly. But fortunately for our humans, turning the resonator off sends him back behind the veil. For now. From that point on, Catherine's curiosity gets the better of her, and she has to see more and more. Each session with the resonator seemingly gives Pretorius more power, and eventually it's able to turn it on from his side, even when the mechanisms are destroyed. It's a slime-soaked gore-a-thon, yet surprisingly not very bloody at all. Oh sure, the corn syrup and the KY jelly is there in force. It's just that they don't use as much red dye, resulting in the goo being pinks and purples more often than red. It plays quite seriously, though it still has a few humorous moments too.
Well, how about the hard-on I got? Is there a statistical correlation for that too?
I'm strictly giving the broad strokes here because this one is quite well known, but also I don't want to spoil too much for anyone who hasn't seen it. There's absolutely no question that I'll be giving this one my highest recommendation. It's a very personal movie for me since it's the one I place full blame upon for giving me a lifetime love of trash that's gone unquenched for several decades at this point. This is the one I saw that prompted me to start staying up well past my bedtime to see the movies that couldn't be shown during the daytime programming hours, and ironically enough, to allow me to see what's always there that I'm not supposed to see. There's probably a philosophical angle to be found there. I don't remember the exact age I was when I first saw this one, but I do remember being quite young. Definitely wasn't yet 10 years old, but I have very clear memories of watching it. I was visiting my grandma and grandpa, and since they lived in a different town from me, they got channels that I didn't get at my house. And I would scour those brand new channels for any shows and movies that I couldn't normally see. One afternoon, I ended up on the movie channel just as From Beyond began. I was glued to the pinky purpley glow of that gigantic wood-paneled television set that doubled as a shelf for my grandmother's prized plants. And I saw horrors my young, unfolded brain couldn't yet imagine. I think it's quite interesting that the first real test of imaginative horror my eyes beheld was from the master of indescribable galactic horror, H.P. Lovecraft. And just as the resonator changed our characters, From Beyond changed me forever. Jeffrey Combs is an utter delight in this one. I honestly don't even see him as an actor here. He is Dr. Tillinghast. He threw himself into this role 100%. He does have some truly laughable lines, but he delivers them so goddamn straight you won't mind at all.
He used to bring beautiful women here. They'd eat fine meals, drink fine wine, listen to music. But it always ended with screaming. Bit off his head. Like a gingerbread man.
She'll know, Edward, how pathetic you are. How you can't make love.
That will be quite enough of that.
And then, of course, we can't look past the lovely and luscious Barbara Crampton, whom I've had almost a lifetime crush on thanks to this movie. The resonator changes people, but she's the one who has the biggest transformation, and it didn't even come in a physical form. Every time she fires up the resonator, she becomes more and more sultry and sexy. From demure, bespectacled psychiatrist to full-on BDSM leather queen, she is a treat for the eyes. And she actually has the acting chops to back it up. It's quite amazing watching her almost become a completely different person without any need for practical special effects like Jeffrey Combs had with his pineal gland. And speaking of Barbara, even after a lifetime of watching horror movies, this one has another personal milestone, as it is the movie that has my absolute favorite horror scream of all time. Like, I can't even tell you what's in second place because the gold medalist is so goddamn far ahead of it. At the end of the movie, Catherine succumbs to madness, and it's just glorious. I mean, if a scream is a musical note, then Barbara Crampton is the entire orchestra pit. There simply aren't enough movies that reach the levels that From Beyond did. The practical special effects look amazing even after almost 40 years. The camera work is fantastic, but also functional. I will always give extra bonus points to a movie that actually lets you see how well it's made instead of hiding its flaws behind darkness or unstable camera work. The cast is incredibly competent in all aspects, whether it's Dr. Pretorius's evil sexual intentions, Crawford's insanity clashing with his desire to stop his boss, Catherine's entire character arc from doctor to sex addict, or even Bubba's likable everyman routine giving the audience someone to connect with in a world full of wild, untethered science. Also, From Beyond does a fantastic job of blurring the lines between sexy and disgusting. Usually Hellraiser gets the top spot for sexy horror, but I still believe From Beyond to be a better example. So with that, my 100th review special comes to a close. I want to thank every single person who has ever watched my videos. Whether you represent one click or numerous, I thank you for giving me whatever time you can spare. I really don't know where this silly little project of mine is going to go, if it goes anywhere at all. But the fact that you've all helped me get to 100 reviews, it really says a lot. I truly appreciate you all. Here's to another 100. And until I greet you again for another nasty nugget, this is your au naturel basement buddy, not Sugar Pants. See you in your dreams.
Humans are such easy prey.